is 'n ver wat jy moet gaan vir jou geld. Maar ek wil ook sê, sometimes is jy gelukkig en sometimes nie. Maar vir ons ou mense is 'n stryd om jou SASSA geldjies op te tel.
So, my name's Robin. I'm a master's student at the Political Studies Department here at UWC, and I was working with Professor Piper, who is the lead researcher for this project, and we were working with Black Sash in trying to understand the decommissioning of the SASSA pay points, moving from a dedicated system to sort of a multi-varied system that they have now. So together with Sondre, I was one of the field researchers for this project.
Yeah, so I'm Sandra Bailey, and I'm also a master's student in the politics department. I think she's already given a background to the research. I was also a field worker. Yeah, we were the only two field workers.
In our partnership with Participedia, partly why we were with him was because we could pilot more participatory research methods, combined with a traditional sort of research framework. And the reason for that was we were actually trying to create more sort of active research participants. We didn't want them to be passive and just sitting there and giving us yes, no answers or having to battle with traditional methods like surveys or that kind of thing.
So the Row of Life was an exercise that we did with everyone where each participant got an A3 piece of paper and they physically had to draw a river. And this river would then tell the story of the process that they would go through when traveling to the site where they receive the money, be it the retailer, the post office, the bank. So they physically had to show the complications along the route. If it was raining, if the sun was shining, if there were obstacles along the way, they had to draw all of that in, and they had different color cookies and coloring in pencils and pastels to sort of help them. And we actually got very nice stories that came from that, very nice colorful stories that came from that. So this is Nomvula, and she receives the old age grant. She stays in Kalija, and this brown building over here is her house. And okay, the road is not a straight road to ShopRite, the retailer where she receives the grant money, but this sort of describes the route. These are the taxis, so she would have to take a taxi to the retailer, and on the way there's this big intersection where you usually get off the taxi, I think, and you get a new taxi. But this big intersection can be very dangerous because you need to cross this very busy road, and these people over here sort of represent the scholars or the bad people on the way that could rob her, going either on her way to the retailer where she gets her money or on her way back. This line outside the retailer represents the very long line of grant recipients on payday outside ShopRite, which is where she goes. And she says that she waited there for about 3-4 hours waiting in that. She spent about 3 to 4 hours waiting in that line. But then she also said when she eventually got her money, got to the front of the line, was able to draw her money, it was like her rainbow moment. She finally, has her money and she can now go home or do her shopping, her grocery shopping, and then go home. But again, it means she needs to cross this intersection again, she needs to take a taxi to get home and hope and pray that she gets home safely.
Okay, so body mapping is kind of similar to the River of Life. We're also asking participants to sort of draw and showcase what this process means for them, but instead of being a bit more like this is what happens step by step like you do in the River of Life, we're talking more about what does it actually physically feel like for you. So we would have a rather large white sheet, bigger than the size of a person, and get them to lay down. They can lay down in any which way that they want, outline the body, and then all those things that we discussed, they actually put that on the life-size drawing of themselves. This one is Mark Anthony, if I'm not mistaken, from Dove. Yeah. So he has a shirt and a tie on because he says that he feels very sort of professional, respectable. This is sort of the one time that you can really dress well, so to speak. He's disabled, he had a stroke which left him disabled, and so he's younger than the other participants that we had. So for him, that felt particularly good to sort of be out there. He drew a heart, because I mean, in our discussions, a lot of people were talking about how unsafe it actually was, the crime element. But in doing the body map, he was one of the participants who actually, that despite that, he's actually still really happy because this is the only source of income that he gets, and despite the problems, that thought still makes him happy.